When you're looking for a family SUV, the 2025 Kia Telluride and Hyundai Palisade are probably two names that pop up immediately. Both vehicles have dominated the mid-size SUV segment with their luxurious interiors, spacious three-row seating, advanced tech, and rugged yet refined exteriors. Whether you're navigating through city traffic, cruising down the highway on a road trip, or tackling some light off-roading, these SUVs offer a fantastic driving experience that combines comfort, power, and versatility. But in today's video, we're diving into a critical question that's on the minds of a lot of potential buyers. Which of these SUVs actually wins when it comes to fuel economy? With the rising cost of gas, fuel efficiency is becoming more important than ever, especially for those who are regularly driving long distances or using their SUV as a daily commuter. While both the Telluride and the Palisade have earned their stripes in terms of reliability and family-friendly features, this comparison will focus on how each SUV performs in the real world when it comes to gas mileage. Let's break down the comparison into three key segments: highway fuel economy, city fuel economy, and then combine the results to see which SUV has the best all-around efficiency. But before we get into the numbers, it's important to note that both the 2025 Kia Telluride and Hyundai Palisade are powered by nearly identical powertrains. Both come equipped with a 3.8-liter V6 engine that generates 291 horsepower and 262 lb-ft of torque, paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission. You're looking at all-wheel drive, AWD, configurations in both SUVs, which means we're testing the models in their most capable form, especially when it comes to fuel consumption under various driving conditions. Highway test, long-distance efficiency. To kick things off, we took both the 2025 Kia Telluride and the Hyundai Palisade on a highway loop designed to simulate long-distance driving, like what you might experience on a road trip or a weekend getaway. The route was about 150 miles, mostly highway driving, with cruise control set to a steady 70 miles per hour, the kind of speed you might drive when you're just cruising on the freeway for hours. Now, one of the most important things to note here is that highway driving, especially at a constant speed, is where these SUVs tend to perform at their best. This is because, on highways, you're not dealing with stop-and-go traffic, which means the engine can run at an optimal cruising speed, consuming less fuel. After the test loop, we stopped to refuel both vehicles, and the results were pretty interesting. The 2025 Kia Telluride averaged 27.1 miles per gallon, MPG, on the highway, while the 2025 Hyundai Palisade recorded 26.5 MPG. Now, that's not a huge difference, but it's still notable. The Telluride's 27.1 MPG is slightly more efficient, which could translate into more miles per tank and fewer stops at the gas station, especially on longer trips. But what explains this slight edge? Well, it comes down to a couple of key factors. First, the Telluride benefits from a slightly more aerodynamic design, especially in trims like the X-Line, which has more streamlined features, including active grille shutters that help reduce drag. Additionally, Kia's powertrain calibration seems to be more efficient when it comes to maintaining constant speed on the highway, which helps it sip less fuel. The Palisade, on the other hand, is no slouch in this department. Its slightly higher weight and different throttle mapping in the drive modes could account for the minor difference. But the takeaway here is that if you're someone who spends a lot of time on highways or road trips, the Telluride may offer a slight advantage in terms of fuel savings. City test, urban driving performance. While highway driving is where these SUVs shine in terms of fuel economy, we all know that most of us spend a majority of our time behind the wheel navigating city streets, stoplights, and rush hour traffic. So next, we took both the Telluride and the Palisade through a city driving test, simulating the kind of daily commute or urban errand running that most owners will experience. The test was about 30 miles of stop-and-go traffic, frequent stops at red lights, and some slow-moving traffic. We all know that city driving can be a fuel guzzler, especially when you're constantly starting and stopping. But how do these two stack up? Here, the Hyundai Palisade actually took the lead with an average of 20.8 mpg, while the Kia Telluride was just behind at 20.4 mpg. So, what's going on here? Well, The Palisade's advantage in the city comes down to its more efficient idle start-stop system, which automatically shuts off the engine when you come to a full stop and then restarts it when you press the accelerator. This system can save a surprising amount of fuel, especially in heavy traffic. Additionally, Hyundai's Smart Drive mode seems to be a bit better at optimizing fuel efficiency during slow city driving by making subtle adjustments to the throttle response, which helps avoid unnecessary fuel consumption when you're inching forward in traffic. The Telluride, while still impressive, doesn't have quite the same level of refinement in this area, and its eco mode, while effective on the highway, doesn't feel as responsive in the city. Combined fuel economy, the all-rounder. Now, let's bring everything together and take a look at the combined fuel economy of both the 2025 Kia Telluride and Hyundai Palisade. The combined rating is a weighted average of both the city and highway results, and it's what most people care about when they want to know the overall fuel efficiency of their vehicle. We did the math, combining the results from the highway and city tests to see how each SUV stacks up in a typical mixed-use scenario. For the Kia Telluride, the combined fuel economy came in at 23.75 mpg, while the Hyundai Palisade averaged 23.65 mpg. Yes, that's right, just a 0.1 mpg difference. So, when you consider all types of driving, the Telluride takes the slightest edge in overall fuel efficiency, but the margin is incredibly small. If you're someone who drives a lot in the city and doesn't take many long road trips, the Palisade might be a better choice due to its slightly better city performance. But if you're a highway commuter or someone who drives a lot of miles on open roads, the Telluride offers a tiny bit more fuel savings. The bigger picture, which SUV is right for you? At the end of the day, both the 2025 Kia Telluride and Hyundai Palisade are incredibly close when it comes to fuel efficiency. The differences are relatively small, just a few miles per gallon in certain conditions, but that can add up over time, especially if you're driving long distances or looking to minimize your fuel expenses. The Telluride takes the win in terms of highway fuel economy, making it the better option for long trips or those who primarily drive on the freeway. On the flip side, the Palisade has a slight advantage in city driving, thanks to its more efficient idle start-stop system and smoother throttle calibration for urban environments. When it comes to overall combined fuel economy, the differences are so narrow that they're unlikely to make or break your decision. You're probably not going to save a significant amount of money by choosing one over the other based solely on fuel efficiency. That said, it's important to note that both SUVs offer excellent overall value, balancing power, luxury, and fuel economy in a way that many other SUVs in this segment can't quite match. So, which one should you choose? Well, it really depends on your driving habits. If you're someone who frequently hits the open road or has a longer commute that involves mostly highway driving, the Kia Telluride might be the better choice, giving you a little more efficiency on the open road. But if your daily driving is more about city traffic and stoplights, then the Hyundai Palisade could be the way to go, thanks to its slightly better performance in urban conditions. At the end of the day, both SUVs are incredible machines that offer a fantastic blend of comfort, technology, and fuel economy. The differences in fuel economy might be small, but they can make a difference over time depending on how you drive. So, what do you think? Are you Team Telluride or Team Palisade? Let us know in the comments below which SUV you think wins the fuel economy showdown, and be sure to share your own experiences with these two amazing vehicles. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more comparisons, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.